Okay, we are good to go. Happy Saturday, everyone. And this will be the last XANGO University call for this year. Hard to believe. You know, it's interesting. It seems the older I get, the faster time flies. Do you feel that way as well? I often relate life to being like a roll of toilet paper. The closer you get to the end, the faster it goes. And today, we're so excited to host two very special ladies. And we're labeling this call Holiday Hustle. You have 2 minutes. The reality is what we're going to go over today applies 365 days of the year. We have lots of new people that have joined us. And for those who do not know us, my name is Sandy Cohen, and Eddie and I have been married probably more years than most of you have been on this planet. We're 500K premieres and Sweet 16 with XANGO. We're actually like the grandparents in XANGO, been very fortunate to be with the company when they launched in November of 2002. But, and we've broken every record, as you know. But what I think you need to know is that this next wave, what we're labeling XANGO 2.0, is going to be bigger and faster than everything that we've done in the past. And part of that reason is not just because of the patented XANGO juice on all our products and all the new enhancements, but because of the incredible addition to our product line with a product called the 2-Minute Miracle Gel. And boy, if you have not tried this yet, you've got to get your hands on some of the product and commit to using it, because when people start saying to you, what's going on? You look great, and especially at my age. Oh my goodness, compliments are very much welcome. So it's my pleasure to introduce our very first guest, Shelly Maguire. And just to give you a little bit of background about Shelly, we actually met, in the lobby. I think that was where we originally met, at XANGO headquarters. We were there, and Shelly was there with her sweetheart, Frankie, and I think Diedre was with her as well. And to get to meet somebody that there's just like this instant positive connection. But what's amazing about Shelly, and she'll talk a little bit about this, because this is not the first cosmeceutical or skincare that Shelly has developed. I mean, she's developed over 50 products over the last 12 years. She's a member of the Cosmetic Chemists Association. We were fortunate enough at Vista, which was in October. Everyone that attended got Shelly's book called Dancing in the Storm. And what a story she has. And she has a radio show called Strength in Sharing. And what is the most amazing, and my heart goes out to Shelly, because she is probably a rare survivor of cystic fibrosis. And so she is so into everything that can help anyone live longer, healthier. And so, Shelly, I'm just going to turn it over to you, and I'm going to highlight the slide. So when you're ready to move to the next slide, just say next, and I'm going to turn it over to you now.
That is great, and thank you, Sandy. And I see everyone that's joining us online and listening in, so we want to thank you for spending your morning, or if you're in the East Coast, your afternoon with us. Sandy, it's such an honor to work with you and Ed, because obviously your history of success and what you have done to help change other people's lives, and in the short time that we have been honored enough to work with you, you've taught me so much. So this is really great to be able to be with all of you. And we wanted to spend a little time this morning because, you know, as Sandy and Ed teach about learning to be ageless, what is exciting is that we, and when I say we, my business partner and wonderful husband, Frankie, and I, are blessed to be able to have partnered with XANGO to bring a product that not only can help you learn to be ageless and feel better about yourself and look younger longer, but that can also change your life in the way of financial freedom. And whether that is something that you do as part-time or full-time, or set your goals high or low, wherever it is, we're excited to be able to show you how you can take one product and virtually do what we have done, which is learn how to turn this into a money-making career for you while you have the ability to be able to share something with someone else that we know has a proven track record of success by working for everyone. And by working, we mean making them look better and feel better instantly and long-term. And I don't think there's any topic that, especially women, but now we're finding men as well, everyone loves to talk about reversing or slowing down the look and feel of aging, right? So what could be better than all of us finding the trick to that? So I'm going to talk to you about that this morning, a little bit about my background. Sandy touched on it. I was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis when I was age of 12 and given a life expectancy of 18. And cystic fibrosis is a progressive lung disease, and it is a challenge that I fight and I face every day of my life. But around the late 20s, I realized that I had surpassed my 18th birthday, and I was not treating my body or my skin or my health with much respect. So I got into learning about nutrition and inner health and outer beauty as a way of really helping myself achieve a better quality of life. And boy, it was life-changing because I learned that I could not only affect and be responsible for affecting change in myself, but I had the power and the ability to help other people look and feel better. So I got into the spa business. And next slide, Sandy. What I got into when I developed my product, I had bought one salon, a small salon, and over the course of 10 years grew that to 3 very large salons and spas, 120 plus employees. And we would bring women and men in for facials, and we would charge $60 for a 1-hour facial. And the result of the facial would be that somebody would walk out in 1 hour, a minimum of $60 later, looking smooth, bright, hydrated, glowing, their skin feeling good, they looked healthy, they looked well rested, they looked rejuvenated. And then we would walk people to the front to show them what we used on them in our spa service, and we would show them a cleanser and a toner and an exfoliator and a moisturizer and a pore minimizer and a primer, and people would just stare at us half of the time with blank stares because, and I'm sure all of us have experienced this, especially if you go into a spa or you go to the mall and you see all of the products that there are for anti-aging, and you think, who has the time and who has the money to devote this much time to anti-aging? And that's what I thought. I thought, as much as I like doing spa services, I've got to come up with something that can streamline what women are doing at home and what men are doing at home and try to mimic the whole idea of a facial, but something someone can do every single day at home for maintenance. And that is how we developed the 2-Minute Miracle Gel, where I was able to seek out the best ingredients, the healthiest ingredients, scientifically proven ingredients, and it took me years of trial and error and prototypes and demos to find the one product that we could do to give someone that same effect right at home every day. And the best part about it is it costs less per jar than a 1-hour facial treatment that's one time. And we wanted a product that was progressive but not aggressive so that we knew it would work on everyone, women and men of all ages, that it would work 100% of the time on everyone and address the issue of not being able to see results. Most people don't want to take something home and spend $60, $80, $200 and be told to wait 30 days to see results. We want to see it now. And I'm like that, and I'm sure you're like that. You want to see something. And that's what we developed, a product that could instantly, in front of your eyes, transform the look of your skin, give you bright, smooth, hydrated, glowing skin. But with daily use, we could back up by science anti-aging long-term benefits of many, many different ways, which we're going to go through in this presentation. And that's what we did 14 years ago. Now, 14 years ago, another great thing happened in this world, and that was XANGO. XANGO launched with their mangosteen powerful antioxidant fruit that they brought into the U.S. exclusively. And they learned so much about the power of this antioxidant and the power of the xanthones that are inside this magical fruit. And what they could do internally, which a lot of you who know XANGO and who have been using and taking their juice know the power of that for anti-inflammatory and cellular health and cellular rejuvenation. But they also learned what it could do externally when applied by the skin. And about a year, back in September, we had actually been talking to XANGO for a long time, and we decided to partner up and marriage our 2-Minute Miracle Gel, which ironically was 14 years of history, and the wonderful mangosteen fruit that had 14 years of XANGO history, and add this into our exclusive formula and reformulate it exclusively for XANGO. And that's when we launched the Aeris 2-Minute Miracle Gel that launched back in September. No one else has ever had this product. No one else has had this science. No one else has had this synergistic blend of 3 or 4 patented extracted ingredients. And now we're able to offer this through XANGO exclusively. And that has really been a game changer. And it's been a game changer, gosh, right out of the gate. We broke records when we launched this in Vegas at Vista. And, you know, usually you think of a company and a product with 14 years of history, and we've seen it, whether it's a restaurant or skincare or a gadget or anything. 14 years, you usually have a cycle up and your cycle down. But what we've seen with the 2-Minute Miracle Gel and now our partnership with XANGO is our trend just continues to exponentially grow. And that's what we're seeing. And the reports that we're getting back of the marriage of these two things have been phenomenal. So I want to explain to you what has made this magic so that some of you have already known about this, and this will be a great reinforcement to help you learn. And others who are just joining this call for the first time, I want to really educate you on what an amazing opportunity and product you have. Next slide. Okay, I'm going to go through some key ingredients, and trust me, these are really long words. They're called inky names. That means international nomenclature, which means that no matter what country, and XANGO is right now in 25 countries, and we will be launching country after country. We just launched Korea. These ingredients are recognized worldwide. So, good news. You don't have to remember how to pronounce these. You don't have to remember them. But what is important for you to know so that when you share our product is that we've done the research for you. And you can move forward with confidence that I have looked into every bit of science, and we've done the studies. And I'm sorry. Sorry about that. We've done the studies for you. We know the ingredients. We've looked at the scientific data and picked the ingredients that not only give you an instant wow to your skin, which the Aeris 2-Minute Miracle does, but, and I keep stressing this, with continued daily use. This is why we're going to be able to make some of the claims that we make, because we know we can affect a change in skin. Okay, we've got a polymeric extract, and this is the XANGO extract. And what's exciting about this is that we have taken a polymeric. So this is higher in xanthones than any of the other mangosteen, even that XANGO has. And we've married this into our ingredient. And we have the scientific studies that can show the changes when applied topically for skin. We have a blue-green algae extract that comes from what has been called the most mineral-rich place on the planet. And what this blue-green algae does is it blooms in the Cascade Mountains. It's 100% natural, just like the mangosteen. And it's able to change and affect the texture of skin and also supply it with nutrients like natural forms of glutathione and carbohydrates that help to change over time the texture of the skin. We have pseudo-ultramonas ferment extract. This is a natural glycoprotein. It's a sugar protein that is 100% natural, comes from the waters of the Antarctic glaciers, and this was discovered because they found sea life. And I think this is fascinating. I've used this ingredient for 14 years because I have never found any ingredient in skincare that can do what this one ingredient does for collagen and elastin, because it is actually able to protect from moisture loss, not just replace it, protect from moisture loss, and extend the cell life of a cell. This means longer living, healthier, plumper, firmer cells. And lastly, we have aloe barbadensis leaf. And I know we've all heard of aloe over the years, but what a lot of people may not realize, and I didn't know until I got into skincare, that there are 3 different grades of aloe. And you've got the ones that are, you find on the drugstore shelves, and then you've got the commercial grade of aloe, and then you've got a middle grade of aloe, but then you have this grade of aloe that we use. And this is an extraction process that is freeze-dried. And what this means is that our aloe vera is actually more effective than if you opened an aloe vera leaf and used the aloe right out of the leaf. Now, we all know through history the power of aloe. But what you didn't maybe know is that as soon as you open that aloe leaf, it starts to oxidize, and instantly you lose some of the nutrients and the vitamins and the natural elements that are 100% natural to our own amino acids, our own DNA. Our aloe is cryogenically flash frozen into a powder so that it does not lose any of its effectiveness, and then we change this back into a reconstituted aloe vera. And these 4 ingredients are the actives that build the base of our product and alone can transform the look of your skin in a multitude of ways. Next slide. Okay, and I'm really proud about this, and once again I go back to the scientific studies because, in order to make these claims, we have to look at the science. We have to be able to substantiate what we're looking at in these active ingredients. And each of the 4 ingredients on their own, and when you combine them together, are able to support collagen and firmness in skin, support elastin and elasticity, minimize the appearance and the depth of fine lines and wrinkles, protect skin hydration, which sounds like, moisture, who cares? I will tell you that's the number 1 reason for skin aging is the loss of moisture in our cells. Because once the moisture slows down, so does collagen, so does elastin. And our cells start flattening out and they become dehydrated, brittle, dry. And that's why we look aged. Young skin completely has the moisture and the collagen and the elasticity and everything they need to produce healthy, plump, hydrated cells. But as we age, this process slows down. So what we're able to do with this blend of ingredients is reproduce what we tried to have when we were younger. This also protects against free radicals. What that means is it helps to make your skin look and feel younger longer. Also stimulates cell renewal. So we're starting that process of overturning dry, dead, old surface cells and delivering to the surface new, fresh, plump, hydrated cells. And that's why you'll hear me talk over and over. You will be blown away by the instant results of this product, but we want you to use this every day because that is what our clinical studies show. This is the way that you will look ageless longer. This is an anti-aging product. Anti-aging, against aging. Next. Okay, so what we say is 2 minutes twice a day for 30 days. And the twice a day, 2 minutes means sharing this. This is going to be the easiest product, and those of you that are already doing it know there is nothing in this industry that is more exciting. And I'm smiling and laughing as I talk about it because every time I talk about demonstrating the 2-minute miracle, and you'll do this too, I start flashing back to all of the faces that I have exfoliated and transformed in 2 minutes, and the look of someone's face while they're watching their skin transform right in front of their eyes, and then what they see immediately afterwards. So the easiest thing is to ask someone, have you got 2 minutes? Because honestly, who does not have 2 minutes to dedicate to looking better, younger, longer? And this is men and women. Next slide. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the demonstration, but what I do want to encourage you to do is follow directions and pay special attention to how much product you're applying, because using an ample enough of product is very important, and doing what I call the test rub, and we can talk about that longer. But we want to make sure that when you apply it, you use a quarter, or what I always say is even a nickel size, actually. And that says quarter, but it actually should be, I'm sorry, and we'll revise this, a nickel size dollop, but to all 4 quadrants of the face. And maybe that's where that quarter came from, because you got 4 quarters to your face. So a nickel size on your cheek. And there we go. Magically, we're changing the copy here. I love that. Thank you, Sandy. Nickel size to your right cheek, nickel size to your left cheek, nickel size to your forehead, nickel size to your chin, and then a nickel size even all the way down to your neck and décolleté every day. So use enough product, because if you don't, you're going to get a great facial treatment, but your ingredients will absorb, and you'll get the anti-aging, but you won't get the exfoliation. The other key is spread it out like you're icing a cake. Don't rub it in. The test rub, which means after 30 to 45 seconds, and probably closer to 45 seconds, actually take a couple fingers and rub just for a few seconds into every place you applied that gel, just for a few seconds, and that's important for 2 reasons. One is it's going to help to activate the gel. Number 2, though, what's unique about our gel, which has no grains, no acids, no abrasives, so it's extremely gentle. But what it does is it goes from a tacky feeling gel, like an aloe feel when you apply it, to when it's ready, it's going to turn into a runny liquid. So what that test rub does is also help you know where it's starting to transform into that liquid. Once you do the test rub, if you're starting to feel the runny liquid, continue to rub. But if not, stop rubbing and wait another 30 seconds, 45 seconds. Go back and rub everywhere again. And what you're going to see and feel is this gel transforming to a runny liquid, and you will start to see the product adhering to surface dead skin. So surface dead skin only. We're not abrading healthy skin. We're gently rolling away literally years of the look of your skin with dry skin, dead skin, dull skin, the things that are inside of the pores, oil, dirt, debris. And as you watch this rub and roll up right in front of your eyes, and then you remove it, you will see a transformation instantly. You'll see the hydration. You'll see the glow. You'll feel the softness. Everybody says the same 2 things. I feel like my skin is breathing, and I can't stop touching my face. And I'm just talking about face, but this is a full face and body product, and we're going to go into that as well. Next slide. Okay, so let's keep in mind this is for men and women, all ages, every day. And I should have talked about this sooner, but this takes the place of the 7 different products you would normally use. So this is replacing your cleanser, your toner, your exfoliator, your hydrator, your pore minimizer, and your skin primer. So we've already shown how you can streamline your skin care, make it quick, make it easy, make it effective, and make it affordable. Okay, now you're excited, you're sold, you believe it, you've seen it. You're using it, right? Because that's the best way to want to share a product. You become your first customer. You become your biggest fan. And I can tell you, maybe you hear it in the passion of my voice. And everybody always tells me, oh, Shelly, you get so excited about this. But I do, because I know the power that this one product has for you. This has been a career, a 14-year career for us. And although I've sold through a multitude of different mediums, everywhere from selling in my own spas, then we went on to do green markets and home parties and trade shows and fairs. And then we moved on to the big scale, live television, Home Shopping Network TV, 9 years, breaking records in the U.S., breaking records in the UK, breaking records in Canada. Then we partnered with Guthy Ranker, the behemoth of the infomercial industry. And we broke records on sales and upsells with Guthy Ranker. And so we're on this big scale, and we're selling millions of units all around the world. But you know what? I missed my roots. I missed where we started, because through the television and through the infomercials, I lost that contact of watching how excited people got when they used this product for the first time and how much they loved sharing it with others. And that was the one theme that you always heard and you always saw no matter what. I can't wait to share this with my sister, with my mother, with my neighbor, with my brother, with my nephew, with my uncle. It goes on and on. Because when you find something you love, and think about it, I was that way when I first got my, not the Ninja blender or whatever it was. Everybody I talked to, I was like, oh my gosh, have you seen this Ninja? Can you believe what it does? And I'm sure you're like that with things that you're passionate about. And that's the way our customers were. They wanted to share this magic with someone else. So now, with the blessing of partnering back with XANGO, we are back to our roots, and we're here to share it with you. And I want to teach you about a proven product and a proven system that now you can take our secrets and our 14 years of work and trial and error and learning, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel. We've done it for you. So I want to talk about the best ways to grow your business. That's going to be through home parties of your own. And I'm sorry, we'll go back just one slide, Sandy. Sorry about that. Home parties of your own, other people's home parties, trade shows, fairs, a product ambassador, text and email campaign. And we're going to touch on all these. Next slide. Okay, hosting a home party of your own. Best place to start. Everybody, start with family and friends who are the closest to you for a couple reasons. You're going to want to hone your skills and let them know that. Hey, I'm in a new business venture. I'm excited about it. I love this product, and I'm asking you to help me. Because people that care about you and love you want to see your success. When I first started doing this with Frankie, after we got out of my salons, you bet the first person I turned to, my mom and dad, and my sisters, and their friends, and my cousins, and you know, all of them stepped up. And they were excited to help, but they were also excited to share this with the people they knew. So don't be afraid about approaching people you know. This is an exciting thing, and I want you to realize, skincare is a multi-billion-dollar business, multi-billion. So people are out there already searching for answers. So when you can approach them with something that makes it easier and makes their life better and makes their skin better faster and for a better price, you can bet they want to know about it. So start with your own home parties at your house and invite your family and friends into your home and introduce them to this product, and then ask them, hey, would you do me a favor? I want to expand my business. Help me. Will you maybe think of your best friends and family that you would invite into your home and ask them to have a home party for you? And you'd really be surprised. People really appreciate when you tell them what you want. What you want is for them to help you be successful at your new business venture. Next slide. Okay, other people's home parties. And I want to tell you, we've been working on a home party guide, and this will be coming out on the XANGO website, actually XANGOAeris.com, and we're perfecting this home guide. We're going to give you step by step all the information and all the tools you need to raise your education on this, your comfort level. We're going to take all of the guesswork out of it. And I can tell you what, we just did a party last week. I've been Skyping into parties for the last 3 months. My gosh, everyone is having so much fun. I mean, what is more fun than getting people together and demonstrating a product that instantly works? And because of the way that the 2-Minute Miracle Gel works, and when you see this balling up on everyone's face, you know when you see something and you feel bad watching, so you put your hand over your eyes, but you kind of spread through your fingers to look anyway? That's what everybody does with the 2-Minute Miracle Gel. It's like, oh my gosh, what's happening? But yet I got to see this. It's fascinating. So start doing these home parties. They're a lot of fun. And think about all the people that you know, neighbors, families, distant family and friends. I like to go back to the people who I've done business with. How about your real estate agent, your banker, your person who sold you a car, your waiter or waitress, your hair technician, your nail technician, your teachers in your area. Think about all the people that you know that would be excited to be able to host a party of their friends and family at their home. What I want to encourage is, although that you can, what we're calling our parties are Share the Miracle Home Spa Parties. We want to create a spa theme, but by spa theme, it doesn't have to be elaborate. A few candles, something to set the mood, but really the focus should be on the product and the demonstration. We want to encourage everyone to keep it simple, something duplicatable, because when someone comes to your party, they want to know that it's something that they can do themselves. They don't want to have to spend a lot of time maybe or a lot of money, or maybe they can't afford to do it, but they know people, and that's what you want. You're asking people who know people. So keep it simple, keep it duplicatable, and keep the focus on the product and the presentation and closing the sale and booking more parties. Let them know, look, you invite the people to your home, I'll do the work. And their goal at this is to demonstrate, and once again, the steps are simple. We're going to have all this in a guide for you. But it's greet everyone, get started on time, greet everyone, welcome them in, just tell them a little bit about what you're going to show them tonight. Edify me, Shelly Maguire, and it can be something as simple as what Sandy had on that first slide, so that they know who invented this product and the reason it was formulated. Then we have one video we have you share, which is a 7-minute video that tells them everything about the product, how easy it is to use, the science behind it. It's easy. All you got to do is show that video. Then demonstrate the product. You're going to demonstrate it on a couple people's face at the front. After you're done with that, you're going to move around to the crowd, do their hands. Let everybody ooh and ah and have fun and get excited, because that's what you're going to see they do. Everybody starts talking and getting excited. Then you're going to ask who wants to purchase. You're going to just make a simple statement. If anybody wants to do this like I am as a business, see me after the party. Because you don't want to take time at the party to start talking about a lengthy opportunity. You want to keep the focus on the product and the sale. And lastly, you want to focus on who wants to have a party of their own. And it can be something as, hey, anybody who has a party, and if you bought a product tonight, you can earn your next product free when you book and have your own home party. So I really encourage you really to start thinking about this. Especially right now, holiday time is great. Everybody loves to get together. We just did a party last week. I believe we had maybe 25 people. It was wonderful. But I've done parties of 5 people that were also wonderful. So don't get so hung up on the size. Make it meaningful, give it great content, and really look to find customers. And those customers will likely, some of them, turn into your distributors and downline as well. Next slide. Trade shows. Okay, this can be really great, and I know Sandy, she could probably do a whole presentation and has them on trade shows, because she does great with this. If you've seen her booth setup, it's absolutely beautiful, but I think she'll be the first to tell you it can be very simply done, and it can be very gratifying. Now, there's all these organizations that have trade shows, and they're in every state, every city of every state. And there can be large trade show venues, and there can be small trade show venues. One thing that Frankie and I learned really quickly on is that when we did our first trade show, we went to the Working Women's Survival Show. We were very green in this business. It was going to be, I think, like 30,000 women, so we're like, wow, we better have thousands of product on hand. And we did. But we never realized you can only talk to so many people per hour. So a couple key things. Look at the cost versus the reward. Also look at an efficient way to work your booth, the setup, how you have it set up, how you can draw people into your booth, who can work the booth with you so that you can get to as many people, how to demonstrate. Also selecting your shows. And one thing that Frank and I, we read a book that was really interesting, talked about go where your competition isn't. And we carried this idea through trade shows, through fairs, through all different venues, and we still did till the end. We did the obvious, nurses, fitness shows, bridal shows. But we also picked some very obscure shows like the boat show, where people are out in the elements all day, or the RV show where people were buying mobile homes to travel and were limited on space. Or we did camping shows where people like to go camping and they were limited on what they could take with them. So really start thinking outside the box. Anywhere there are women and there are men and there is skin. So we're giving you a really easy target. You have a fitting for an opportunity to be talking to people. The other thing you might want to do is find somebody, and if you do some of these big trade shows where the booth cost might be anywhere, you can usually do, and we'll talk about these little fairs, maybe anywhere from 10 to $35, $50, $60 for a day. Some of the larger trade shows might run you $1,000 for a weekend. But what we did is we teamed up a gal that had permanent lipstick. She didn't carry skincare. We didn't carry lipstick, so we would split the cost of a booth and be able to team up together, share leads, share the booth space, share the cost. So think outside the box. Just keep thinking, where can I find people? And then think of how what you have applies to their lifestyle. Next slide. Fairs. Love doing fairs. I'll tell you, I still love it to this day because this is the best way to be able, on a more intimate scale and affordable level, to be able to get in front of people. Now, just for the heck of it, I Googled trade fairs and craft fairs, and I did Naples, Florida, which is a really small city where I am. I did Akron, Ohio. I did St. Louis, Missouri. I encourage you to put in your city name and then put in craft fairs and trade shows. You will find that, and especially right now, but really it's throughout the season, there's so many places that are having fairs all the time, whether it's holiday boutiques, Valentine's fairs, spring fairs, Mother Day, bridal. Frankie and I did all of them. We would set up in the front of banks. We would set up in churches. We would set up in synagogues. We would do craft fairs. We would do green fairs. We would do natural health fairs. We traveled for a whole summer up and down Florida and did green markets where we would rent, where all of the green people would bring their trade and their crafts. Handmade soaps, handmade candles, handmade food. And because we are a naturally oriented product, we were able to bring in our skincare. And this is a great way to set up. It's cost effective. It's easy to manage. And what I like to always encourage you to do is think about your tabletop. Most tabletops are, regular 9 or 12-inch booth space. So have everything ready on hand so that you can be easy to respond to opportunity. It might be that you look in your paper and you find out, wow, there's going to be a holiday craft fair up the street. You want to be able to get in on that. Maybe it's $10, $25. That's easy. So have your display items, your banners, maybe some before and after pictures laminated, ready. People respond to pictures. They love pictures. I think those new flash rotating picture frames are awesome to set up, where you can have a rotating loop of before and after pictures, which XANGO has on their website now, XANGOAeris.com. We're adding to that site every day. Please familiarize yourself with that site. There are testimonials. There are numerous videos, numerous before and after pictures. Have your mirrors, your tabletop decorations. I love, and I encourage you right now, start looking at January. We're going to be going into February, Valentine's Day. This is a great product. Make little bags. I used to take little bags and put in a 2-minute miracle gel and maybe a heart-shaped candy or a soap by the slice that can be used in the shower. Just so many fun ways to be able to get involved and think about the ways that you've got your people who you're going to talk to. But how about finding customers that you don't know yet, that are looking for answers, that are looking for skincare, that are looking for anti-aging? And a lot of times these people want to support local business people, local vendors. Next. And I'm rattling off all these ideas, and there's so much that is exciting to talk about. And once you understand how to start looking for opportunity, you'll find that it's endless. There's so much opportunity. And I should have mentioned one idea that I had last week, and I posted about it on my Facebook page. And I actually had forgotten about it, but we used to do this in my salon and spas, is for home parties. Usually you think about the moms getting into skincare, and then they share it with their daughters. But I can tell you, you get a teen who is maybe going through a change in their skin as they go through their puberty, or you get a high school gal, or you get a college sorority girl or guy who is excited about a product, and they tell everybody. So what I really like the idea, we used to do this in my salons, and then we started doing home parties, mother-daughter spa parties. Get the exciting daughters to bring their moms, or get the moms to bring their daughters, because as we talk about, and as you'll see, this is one advantage that we have with this product. It is gentle enough that we actually can use this on infants with cradle cap, with dry scalp. Infants. But yet, people that are in their 80s and 90s and beyond can use this to transform, soften, hydrate, plump, and really transform the look of their skin as well. So we cross so many barriers. Those who have challenges on their skin, maybe it's eczema, maybe it's issues with teen acne on their back, maybe it's someone who is diabetic and has issues with very challenged thin skin on their feet and can't get pedicures because it's so harsh, it's so granular. Maybe it's someone who can't get out of the area to go get their own manicures. This is a hand and body product. So bringing mothers, daughters, grandparents, and doing spa days built around family occasions is really gratifying and a lot of fun. Okay, back to product ambassadors. Once again, think about all the people you know who know people. Who are the connectors? Who are the people that are out talking to people? We used to call this piggybacking. But piggyback on who they know. So a lot of times what I would like to do, and we did this when I was in St. Louis, I went down and we met with the St. Louis Rams cheerleaders. I guess they're not the Rams of St. Louis anymore. I don't follow as much. It's Los Angeles. My Frankie just corrected me. But it was the St. Louis Rams at the time, and we got the cheerleaders starting to use our 2-Minute Miracle Gel, and we became the product for the St. Louis Rams, and the men used it, and the cheerleaders used it, and their families used it. Pick some product ambassadors. Maybe it's someone that's a real estate agent that's prominent in the area. Talk to her. Hey, look, I got a product. I want to demonstrate it on you. Takes 2 minutes. I got to show this to you. And if you are excited about it, and I know you will be, I'll make you my product ambassador, my brand ambassador in the area for real estate. And I'd like to give you this jar, but I'm going to ask you to host a party. Maybe we can do a real estate appreciation day for your real estate agents and pamper them. Maybe we can do a customer appreciation day for your previous customers. Maybe go to some school teachers, the cheerleaders, your massage therapist. Make these people your ambassador and work with them to do and get excited about the people that they know. Designate maybe one from every industry. Let them know this is special to you and you want it to be special to them. And you'll be amazed that once you let them know that you're going to give them this product, so you're investing in your business, but it can pay back over and over and over again. And then you'll see that they will be excited to start hosting home parties. And the next thing you know, many of them, because they're already sales-oriented, will ask about the opportunity to join you in your business. Next slide. Last slide is text and email campaign. And I just talked to a gal who was one of our distributors. She's in San Antonio. She used to work in another area of town, and she moved away, and she said, I have trouble now. I can't get back to do demonstrations on all the people I used to work with. And I said, you know what? They all love you. They know you. They trust you. They understand it's your business. So why don't you try this? How about composing a letter and texting it out and letting them know how excited you are about a product that you've been using and what it's done for your skin and what it's done for your business. And you're asking them to either support your business by considering buying a jar and trying it because you know you're going to love it. They're going to love it. Or using it to buy it as a gift to give someone this holiday season. And that you would love, you're going to be placing orders, and you would love to include them in an order. And then, we have the most fabulous video. And it's also on XANGOAeris.com. And we've got the link up online. This gets shared over and over and over again because people respond to this. What this was we went down to Marco Island. This was genuine, real. And in any of our videos, any of our before and afters, we don't use paid, fake people. We use real women, real men. Whether it's our bellman who we met carrying in our luggage, or in this case it was real estate agents that worked down within the Marco Island area, and we had them come into the spot, the Marriott, for a facial. But we used our product instead of the Marriott product and asked if they'd be willing to try something new. And when you watch this video, to see their excitement when they try this for the first time, which, by the way, is the same excitement that you will have every single time you use it. But that first time, to see their genuine, raw excitement and emotion. And all you need to do is send this in text to someone and say, watch this video. And then if they're local, say, if you've got 2 minutes, let me know what day is better for you, Monday or Tuesday. I'd like to come over and demonstrate this on you and with you. If they're not local, tell them to watch this video, and you'd like them to order a jar, because the cost of one jar is less than a one-time facial. And this is a product that they can take home and get a facial experience for anti-aging every single day at home. Also, we've got the single-use sachets. So keep in mind, you can send out this video and say, if you'd like, I'd like you to purchase a single-use sachet. Try this one time, and I'll follow back up with you. Have them view this, and you'll be surprised that text or email campaign is extremely effective if you prepare, you send it to them with a well-thought-out letter, you send them this video, and then the biggest issue for every sale, whether it's a jar or a customer buying once or a home party buyer or a trade show buyer, a craft fair buyer, always, we always know this in sales and just in general customer satisfaction, you want to make sure people used it correctly and got the best results, because that's what's going to be so key to their satisfaction, their wanting to share it with someone else, and them coming back to you to purchase again. And we know through our affiliations in the past and through our residual auto ship orders at Home Shopping Network, HSN, this has an amazing retention rate. So you want people to get through their jar. You want them to use it effectively. You want them to use it daily. And if they do, they will be back to you for the next purchase. So I leave you with this follow-up tip, and it's really important. And we've learned this along the way. One more thing that we've learned, trial and error. Number one, when you sell a jar or you share a jar or you do a home party or you do a trade fair, craft fair, whatever, always, whether it's a single-use sachet or a jar, let them know there is a value to what you're giving them, if you're giving them, if it's a single use. If it's a jar, get something in exchange. Get their phone number, get their email, and let them know, I'm really excited and I want to make sure you get the optimal results. So I'm going to follow back up with you with likely within the next, I like to say 3 days, because I don't like people to take something home personally. It's too easy for people to forget why they did it, what they thought about it, to put it underneath their cabinet and say, oh, I'll get to it when I have time. So I like to say I'm going to follow up with you in 3 days to make sure you got the best results. And then do that. Follow up on every single sale. And then here's the very first question. Please make sure that you don't call and say, what did you think? Because I will tell you, you will get, I loved it, because everyone does. But it doesn't tell you if they got that wow, if they got the right results. So the best question is, did you see the product and the balls of dead skin rolling up together all over your face? And if so, what did you think about that? Now that question is going to be where they have to give you a yes or no. It won't be just yes or no. It's going to be an explanation. They're either going to say, oh my gosh, yes, I couldn't believe it, I've never seen anything, and then reinforce it. Have you ever seen anything like that? Have you ever felt, what did your skin feel like right afterwards? Reconfirm what they loved about that experience, but make sure they used it for the first time the right way. Now, if for some reason they said, well, it felt great, but I didn't see it rolling up, then go back to your troubleshooting, which are always usually 2 factors. Make sure they use enough product and that they did the test run. Because some people will put it on their skin, and then and we're all busy. They'll go and do the dishwasher, they'll take a phone call, they'll start vacuuming, they'll run out to the car, and the product will give them a great anti-aging facial, but it will absorb, and they'll miss that wow exfoliation, and that's what sets us apart, being able to see that right in front of your eyes. 100% of the time, 100% of the people. So I always tell everyone, it can't not work. So if it didn't give that result, you need to know why and walk them through that. Stay on the phone. Do that demo right on their hand. Let's be on the phone together. I'm going to walk you through using it again. That's the number one. Number two question is, I'm so excited that you love this product as much as I did. I would love to have you consider having your own home party, and you could have earn your next jar free, or whatever it is that you're going to give them as a host incentive. Say, I'd love to work with that together with you. Do you have any days, or let's get our calendar, because if you'd like to invite your family and friends, this will be a lot of fun. Let's look at a day that would work for you. Ask them to host a party for you. Go right for that next party, because that's how you're going to be able to help them share the work, share the word. And I can tell you, and we all know this, after they become a customer and fall in love, they'll see the potential. They'll see how easy this is. They'll see how they can duplicate this exact same thing, and now they can begin to earn money, build a business, have younger looking skin, and virtually become ageless along with you, while having so much fun enjoying the process. So I'm really excited to be able to share these tips with you. I know that we've got Diedre Howard with us, and I know she's going to give you some wonderful tips from her perspective. She has been in this field, this industry for a very long time. She was instrumental as one of the people bringing us into XANGO. We're forever grateful for that. She's going to share new tips with you. But I also encourage you two things in leaving. Number one, please make sure you friend request me at Shelly, Shelly, Weiner, Weiner, Maguire, Magure. On Facebook, I'm happy to get involved, answer questions. I share information on my Facebook page 2 or 3 times a day, the things that I know are going to help you. But also, please use the resource, XANGOAeris.com, and familiarize yourself with all of the content on those tabs. Look at the videos. Look at the Q&A videos, because everything that we put up is based on our 14 years of experience and success, and our goal is to support you and make this as easy for you to duplicate what we've done over the years. So thank you for letting me share today with you, but thank you from Frankie and myself for letting us share your future with you. And thank you, Sandy.
Well, you know, Shelly, I have to say you've given so much valuable information. And this unique training, we're not limiting to our typical 30 minutes or our 45 minutes, because I think most people that are listening either live or to the recording are falling into one of two categories. One is they value looking their best. They want to slow down that horrid aging process that, quite honestly, is going to happen unless we do something about it, both topically as well as internally. And the other listener are people who are building their business. So, you know, I've listened to everything you've done, not once, not twice, not 3 times, but countless times. And even with all that I've listened to, I've learned so much more today. And in the chat room, tell me, did you learn things that you did not know before? Because I sure did. And, you know, I just love what you talk about follow-up. I mean, this is the hardest thing, I think, for people to commit to, even myself. And what I've done, and maybe this will help, I went to Walmart, Target, whatever, and I bought really, really inexpensive little thank you notes. And my commitment is when someone purchases the single-use sachet treatments or a jar, within 48 hours at the latest, they're getting a little thank you note. And one gentleman replied back to me. He called me and said, I can't believe you took the time to send me a thank you note, a handwritten thank you note, you know, not an email, not a text message, but taking the time to send a little note. So thank you for your willingness to give constantly, whether it be several times a day on your Facebook page, always available to Skype in, So for those who have to go, I'm sorry to see you go, but if it's okay, we are going to continue and finish. And I'm so delighted to introduce somebody. Her name is Diedre Howard, and I actually met Diedre, and I'm going back, gosh, it's almost a year ago, while Diedre and Shelly and Frankie were evaluating many, many network marketing companies, and I actually got to meet Diedre and her good friend Anita and try the product. And yes, I had an immediate wow. But a little bit about Diedre, mom of three, mom extraordinaire, and she's been in network marketing since 1991. So she understands our business model. But what's interesting about Diedre, she's been on both sides. She's not only been involved on the corporate side, she's also been an independent contractor, just like you and me. And she and Shelly have been working together for years, since 2013. And she was instrumental in bringing the 2-Minute Miracle Gel to XANGO. And of course, she has a title, and maybe she'll explain what it is, because quite honestly, I didn't have time to look it up. But since the year 2000, she's been a nutritional microscopist, and maybe I don't have it pronounced right, so Diedre, maybe you'll tell us what that is, but very much into the whole world of nutrition and living longer, healthier. And Diedre's going to share with us some tips from the distributor side, from the independent contractor side, about what we can do to enhance the product use, reorders, and education as well. So Diedre, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you so very much, Sandy. It's great to be here, and I feel honored to be able to spend some time. And I just want to thank you for this opportunity, because I am very, very excited. We're just finishing up 2016, and 2017 is going to be fantastic. But what I know, and in my career in the field building, December has always been a really big month for me. And some people might think, well, this is December, there's so much going on. Well, you know, you look at those challenges, and I believe in taking the challenge and trying to look at them as an asset instead of a challenge. And so what are some of the things that holiday or December brings us? It brings us lots of Christmas parties. It brings us shopping out more than, I think I do more in December than I do, you know, for 6 months I do in December. And so we're out and about. We're in town. We're traveling different places perhaps to visit family. So all of that might, you know, it might get in the way, and it can, absolutely. But it also has some fantastic benefits. And that is, you're going to be seeing people that perhaps you haven't seen for a number of years, or maybe you only see them at 4th of July and Christmas time for community, you know, activities. I go to all of the orchestra and musical activities and dance performances and things like that in my community, because I'm very involved in the arts. And there's some people that really the only time I see them is during these events. And every year we're so happy to see each other, because it's just crazy. I live in a little teeny town, and it's amazing how many people we miss. And so what I want to really emphasize is use the busy schedule as your asset. When you are out and about, look for those people that you might pass by. You know what I mean? You're busy, you're at the mall, you're looking at, you know, maybe perfume or something for your mom, and you see somebody in the corner of your eye that maybe lives in the town next to you, or that you knew, you know, a couple of years ago or whatever. Stop what you're doing, even though you're busy, and go over there and say, hey, how are you doing? Oh my goodness, it's been so long. What's going on? Your kids are all grown up. And that's usually what happens when I see my friends from a long time ago. We talk about how our kids are all grown up in college, and catch up with them. And then make sure you have their current contact information. And so take the time, even though you're busy, when you see somebody, even somebody that you can't remember what their name is, but you know them. It happened to me just the other day at Cabela's. I was going shopping with my husband, and I have a new son-in-law who is a hunter fisherman, and so is my husband. So this is just so much fun. He gets to shop for a new son-in-law, and we have 3 girls, so he doesn't have any boys. So this is so exciting for him. So we went to Cabela's for a long time. We won't go into how long we were there, but we were there for a long time. And there's this gentleman behind the desk, and he was talking to my husband, Chris, and he even said hi to me or whatever. And I knew him, but I think I knew where. And he kind of looked at me like, I know you from somewhere. Now, this is a city that's about 45 minutes away from us. So before, we were done with that exchange, I was like, I know you from somewhere. And he's like, I know, I was thinking the same thing when we figured it out. We were in a play together like 7 years ago. And it was so great to remember that. And we got to catch up on old friends, which reminded me of about 5 people I haven't thought about in 3 or 4 years. And so that was really good. I wrote their names down really quickly after we got done talking, because that's another thing. Old friends trigger names to remember. But I got his contact information, and we got talking. And so I'm going to chat with him. Now, here's the setup of all of that story there that I want you to think about these activities you're going to go to, these parties, okay? But you need to be ready for when they ask you the question they're going to. They're going to say, what's new? What have you been up to lately? Now, if they know that you're in business for yourself, they'll say, how's your business going? That always happens to me. They'll always ask me because they're so intrigued with what it is that I do. And it's funny because no matter how long I've been doing this, some of my friends, they don't really understand, like, what do you do? And so they're always asking, so what are you up to? How's your business going? Have something prepared beforehand. Make the decision of how you're going to answer that question beforehand. And hone it. It needs to be short. You've all heard the elevator story. But this might be you might be able to go into it a little bit more than a quick elevator story. Highlight the things that you're really excited about. It doesn't need to be a ton of information, but kind of play with that idea. If you need to write it out, write it out. If you need to try it on your kids, on your husband, to see what they think, to do some role playing. This might sound silly, but I'm telling you, it is gold when you go out there, because when you start having that conversation with them, with the end result of you're going to get their information, you're going to follow up with them because you want to show it to them, share it with them. You're going to send them a video, just like what Shelly talked about a few minutes ago. You have an end purpose to your story or to your message that you're going to share with them when they ask you, so what's up? Make sure that your conversation with them is 50-50, that they're talking about themselves as much as you're talking about yourself. Ask them about their kids. Do they have teens that might have acne? Do they have different issues going on? Just, think about that. And remember, if you see somebody, you can't remember how you know them, but you know them from somewhere, reach out and say, I know you from somewhere, because people love that. And even if you can't remember where you know each other from, I always end it with, well, it's great to see you again. And they kind of laugh because we know we've seen each other before, but we don't know where. So have that message prepared. Put on your social hat and reach out to people when you're at parties, when you're out shopping, when you're doing those things that everybody else is doing at the same time. You're going to bump into people you don't know or you haven't seen for a while, and obviously people you don't know too. Okay, next slide. Now this is a secret. I'm teaching you guys a secret. Again, there's so much going on that trying to put together a home party may seem like, oh, I'll just wait until January. I can't tell you how many people say that to me in the month of December. But what I do is I set up a party in December, okay, and the week before December, a week before Christmas. We are in the week before Christmas. And you might go, that's crazy. I can't even imagine anybody that would want to come to a party. But I've tried this before, and it's worked. So last week before Christmas, which is this week, I'll throw out a message to people and say, hey, I'm going to have a get-together at my house. I know everybody has tons of things that they're doing right now, but if you haven't figured out what you're going to give that person who has everything, or if you want something that really wows somebody in your life, then come by. And I'll even make it an open house where they don't have to come for the whole time. They can just come in and see what it is I'm doing. I'll have the video, the 2-minute video that Shelly talked about from Mark Island. I'll have that running on a loop, and I'll do demos. And people will come over because I guarantee them that I will have a product for them that will wow the most stubborn person, so they're giving them a gift that they'll love. I'll say something like, if you haven't got that gift for your wife or for your husband and you want to do something special but you can't figure, that kind of thing. So I'll take advantage of those last-minute shoppers. I don't know about you guys, but I watch the news every once in a while, and it seems like every year they take these polls on who shops when or what they do, and more people wait till the very last minute to buy their presents. I think they said that that's mostly men, just thinking maybe, I don't know, but I know that there's some that I even wait on. So if you work at a place that has a lot of men that work there with you, send out an email that says, hey, if you haven't got that gift for your wife, I'll come and show you this amazing product, or I can bring, use this time is what I'm saying. But let's go back to the parties, because parties are a key way to build your business. So I'll do a party or an open house, but a party the week before Christmas or in the month of December. And then I'll also at the same time plan a party like the 15th of January. Now, why do I do that? The reason why I do that is because when I invite people to my party, a lot of times I'll get, oh man, I wish I could, but I'm just so busy. I have so many things going on. There's just no time. That's a lot of the time the answer that we get. That's why we kind of shy away from doing a party in December. But that's perfect because, again, some people might see that as a negative or a challenge, but I use that as my asset. I'll say, oh, I totally know what you mean. I so know what you mean. I'm the same exact way right now. That's why I also scheduled the same spa party on January 15th. How about I count you in for that one? I'll put your name down. I'll send you an invitation, and then you don't even have to think about it until after the holidays. Won't that be great? And I'm able to take their excuse as a segue to a yes. I assume the yes, because when people say no to you, they feel bad. I mean, I know I do, but psychologically they feel bad. And so you give them a second option, they're going to say yes. And most people, they want to come anyway, and when they get there, they're really going to want to come. But I'll piggyback that objection over to a party in January. After all that holiday hubbub is done, come to the party on the 15th, and that works perfectly. So even if you set up a party in December this week, okay, and everyone says no, it's okay, because that's how you're able to invite them to the one January 15th and fill up that party and really start 2017 off with a bang. So I challenge you to do that, even this week. Just start inviting people to a party you're going to have on Thursday. I'm doing a Skype party on Thursday, and it's going to be great. But there's a lot of people that are saying, I'm sorry, I just can't come, and that's okay because I have another one set up in January. So try that out and see. It's just kind of fun to see if it works. It's worked wonderfully for me. Okay, so let's just talk for a quick second about hostess gifts, okay? And I get this question a lot. And the real basic answer that I give people is it really depends on who my audience is. If I have an audience that came from a trade show I did that was health focused, and I know that they're just health nuts, then I'm going to do something with the PICS, or I'm going to do something with the marine collagen complex drink, along with maybe one of the Zalo products. I try to find something that I know is going to excite the people that I'm in front of as my hostess gift, because I want them to go, ooh, ah, right? And of course that motivates them to set up a party with me too. Sometimes I will, at the party that one of the parties I was at, I'll say, hey, anybody that ordered their jar of product, if you want to do a party, just like Shelly said, come talk to me afterwards because you can get your next jar for free. So if that's the case, then it's a free jar that I'm offering. But sometimes I like to add something to that if I can. Now, of course, we want to make this fiscally responsible, right? So I want to make sure that there's enough jars sold at that party that I'm making a profit and I'm not giving it all away as a hostess gift. So I'm not saying that they're always the same. And I will go to the dollar store and get a few, things will show up that make sense, like a bamboo washcloth. That's one thing that I bought on Amazon, and I'll have that bamboo washcloth with my 2-Minute Miracle jar that I might give them. I won't spend a ton of money, but I'll make it special because honestly, we don't have very many opportunities as adults to feel special. We have birthdays and Christmas and anniversaries, maybe, but to have something out of the blue that you get with a ribbon on it just makes life better. So take some time. It doesn't have to be an enormous amount of money there. Make sure it's fiscally responsible, but make it special. If I'm with a group that I know are just absolutely skincare, focused people, then I might do 7 single-use sachets, a week of facials, with a week of the marine collagen, because I like those two, the inner outer beauty. I love that. Or if I have a group of people that that I want to give them something that's really cutting edge, or that they're kind of healthy, but they also love skincare, I'll do the pericarp oil. I love that. I love it as a moisturizer after the 2-Minute Miracle. And so I might use the pericarp oil. In fact, sometimes I've taken the pericarp oil and used part of a jar to fill a smaller jar and give to people in their gift, just so that they can try that. Okay, so let's move on to the last but not least. I'm going to quickly move through this. I want to get this done in about a minute so everybody can get to their Christmas shopping. But that is your Christmas cards. Okay, some of you may not have gotten to your Christmas cards, or maybe you never do Christmas cards. But that's one place that I always start with my new distributors that I enroll, is get out your Christmas card list. Those are some of the perfect people to contact and talk to about your product or your business. That works perfectly right here. Okay, even if you've already sent out your Christmas cards, which most of you already have, do a New Year's letter. And in that New Year's letter, you're talking about your kids, you're talking about what's going on in your life, you're kind of giving them an update. And in that letter, you're able to say, and tell them about your product. Tell them about the 2-Minute Miracle and send a single-use sachet. I always like to use the phrase whenever I can in a letter or when I'm talking to somebody that I say, you know what, when I learned about this product, I thought of you. And then fill in the blanks. Because your daughter, I know she's really had challenges with acne, or because you're like me and we're trying to keep, the clock from ticking, and we want to keep that youthful look and feel. Or I know you're crazy about skincare like I am, or I know that one of your kids has a challenge with eczema, or you just might even, or all kinds of, dandruff, it helps with dandruff, learn all the different things that the product does if you haven't learned that yet, and use that in your letters or when you're speaking to somebody. When I learned about this product, I thought of you, and this is why. And so if you haven't taken the time to send out Christmas cards, that's okay, because you can start 2017 off with a bang, and touch base with some of those people. And just like Sandy shared a minute ago, when somebody gets a handwritten letter or something in the mail, immediately now, because everything's so digital, immediately now, you get their attention, they feel loved and cared about, and they're going to believe you when you say, when I learned about this, I thought of you, because it just fits. Because honestly, it's true, or you wouldn't have sent them the letter. So, of course, there's tons more that I could talk about. I could do a whole half an hour on the follow-up process, but I'm not going to take the time today because we have been going for long enough. But again, Sandy, I appreciate the time that I had to share with everybody. I'm so excited about 2017. I love all the XANGO products. And I'm just grateful that the 2-Minute Miracle got to come and be a part of this amazing family. And then we get to use it as a door opener to introduce the world to all the XANGO products and the amazing health and wealth that can be created here.
Oh, Diedre, thank you so much. And my goodness, I've got so many nuggets that I'm going to go back and re-listen to this webinar. And I think everybody should do the same and grab a pen and paper and write down the key points that you're going to implement literally within 24 to 48 hours. We so appreciate the both of you. And just I wanted to make sure everybody knows about the holiday promotion really, really quick. The Skin Renewal Pack is on sale. I couldn't believe it because I use the Eye Renewal Concentrate not only around my eyes after I use the Instant Eye Gel, but I use it as a moisturizer all over my face, my neck, and my décolleté. And I had Eddie order me a couple bottles of the Renewal Concentrate, and the next day, this Skin Renewal Pack came out where I would have gotten one free. So I had to call my elite rep and pull some strings so that I could get the free Renewal Concentrate along with that. So you can actually call 877-GO-XANGO and ask for the Skin Renewal Pack. It's on sale this month. In addition to that, the 2-Minute Miracle Holiday Pack has 2 jars and this gorgeous silver makeup case. Just beautiful. And that's what I use for my demos. I put my demo jar in that beautiful, image is everything, presentation is everything. So when you order 2 jars of the gel, you also get the pouch. So in closing, Eddie and I just want to wish everyone blessings of optimal wellness because that's the most important thing. And of course, a very, very happy holiday to you and everyone you care about. And I know this took a little longer than normal, but I think the content was well worth it, and I promise it'll be posted on the XANGO University Facebook page, and when it's populated, I'll also send it out in an email as well. And with that, I want to close and wish everyone a happy, healthy, and very prosperous new year. God bless.